All right, I just stopped at my shop, Dynamic Disc Phoenix, before I head out on tour. I signed 10 or 12 of these Moonshine Slammers. So if you spend over $100, you can get one for yourself.
I was looking at your stats again earlier. You're just under 150K in earnings. Last year you had 7 top 10s. I mean, dude, you're right. It's right there.
Yeah, I know.
It's right there. And I know the wounds are, we're all, especially us in Arizona, we're screaming at the televisions at the European Open. Is it something you talk about yet, or is it?
I mean, I've been talking about it. It's just like, I don't know. It's just, it happened.
It happened.
You can't do anything about it.
Right.
I felt like I dealt with it pretty well the last couple of holes. But yeah, it was just brutal. It didn't even feel like real life, honestly. It was like crazy. I don't even know how to describe it.
So the first disc you pulled out, obviously that was the one you wanted. So now every disc working back from there isn't the disc you want.
No.
So it makes the shot that
was
much.
The hardest part because I only had one Raptor in my bag, and that was like the right distance for a Raptor. And then after that, all I had was overstable drivers, and they just kept going too deep.
Right.
The adrenaline was pumping more and more after every single shot, and then eventually just clubbed down to a zone and just cranked it hard and finally made it.
Well, I thought you took it on the chin as well as anyone I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I thought it was
pretty rough, but
Phil Mickelson never won a major until he was 34 years old. Not a lot of people know that. They just see Phil Mickelson as a super accomplished, but he never won a major until he was 34.
Yeah.
And he's got 6 second place U.S. Opens. He's never won the U.S. Open. And all that does for us fans, Anthony, is it makes us want it for you more. And I can't imagine anything but amazing stuff when you go back to Finland next year.
I think I'm going to play a lot better next year.
I think you're going to find that you've got a house full of people that you didn't know were there that are just going to come out and support you. And I mean, it was close, but you still was 3 holes to play. So it's not all, it wasn't all in that moment. It wasn't the 18th hole and last shot. It was, there were still 3 really hard holes to play.
Yep.
And who knows how the other players would have reacted in those situations. Have you get on, the second one goes in, you make your par, you move on. I don't think he throws up the way he does and catches his birdie. I don't think he goes for it. So anyway, I appreciate you talking about it. I know it isn't easy. Those wounds hurt. Yeah. For sure. But you're young, and I can tell you that you've got all of us. We all care about what you do here, even though you don't know all of us, but we do care about you. And we just, now we've really got our arms around you. Yeah, we want to see you succeed. We really want to see you succeed.
I want to succeed for Arizona. I feel like Arizona sports is tough. It's really tough. With like the D-backs, the Suns, Cardinals. I know how I feel when they lose, and I don't know. Hopefully I can bring a win to Arizona this season.
I love it. I know you will.
26 last time.
27?
27. Welcome to it.
Welcome back, champions. I know you love that.
I love it.
I do too. Pretty clear that Anthony Barela is a stud.
He's made it very apparent that he's in it to win it. He's got the great focus. He's got the stride, momentum. I think we've talked about momentum quite a lot, and he just has figured it out, man.
As has he.
As has he.
Yeah. But what we saw of Anthony last year and 2 years ago, those putts weren't going in. Those putts are going in the center with authority. So something clicked here Maturity.
It's maturity,
Reps.
it's focus, reps, hanging out with the right people.
It's time. Now, and I hope you saw the interview that we had with Anthony Barela here. If you haven't, please go back and watch it because it's amazing. Not in the sense that he predicted a lot of this. He thought this would be the year. And what we talked about, which I think is really relevant, is it's a contract year. Discraft only picked him up for 2 years. This is the second year of that 2-year contract.
The door opens.
I thought minimum 5 years they should have locked that young man down.
Absolutely.
Because the potential was through the roof. Everyone knew it. As soon as that thing clicked, it was going to be, look out.
Off to the races,
Okay, now we've had 4 MPO tour events.
Tour events, yep.
How many has he won?
2.
Yeah.
Half of them.
Half.
Great start to the season. I don't think you could ask, and a second place finish.
Right?
Yeah. To Gannon Burr, I believe.
I saw something the other day where he's earned more money this year in the first 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, put it this way. He's halfway to where Ricky was in 2017, and Ricky won 5 or 6 events and never missed cash. He's halfway there.
To what Ricky earned in the whole year of 2017, and he's there after 4 events.
Yes.
That's very impressive for where we've come, really.
As a sport.
How far we've come, yes.
And that's why it's so exciting.
Yeah, that's
but anyway,
awesome.
we're gloating because he's a local guy.
Go back and watch the interview because he exudes that swagger and confidence that, like you said, he knew it was coming.
Humbly, though.
Yeah. He's not wearing sunglasses in the interview and
he's a humble,
spouting off.
Wonderful mom and dad, perfect, well done.
Yep.
We can't say enough about him, and obviously he's becoming. Gannon's right there, the face of the sport. Ricky and Paul have carried it for a very long time. And it's not to say that those guys aren't going to throw their elbows in the coming weeks and months ahead, which we can't wait to see. But these guys they're coming out of the gate, as they say.
Yep.
Flying. It's amazing.
Well, and they say that that's actually the speculation of the next Paul-Ricky rivalry. It's going to be Gannon and Anthony.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, how do you argue that? And let's look at the people around them. Klein, 20-nothing years old. Antilla, 20-nothing years old.
Yeah.
Right?
Young guys.
Gossage, 20-nothing years old.
Yeah, the average winner
Amos,
this year.
20-nothing years old.
Yeah, they're all kids.
Keep going. They are. They're kids.
Yeah.
But that's perfect. And I think because the Disc Golf Pro Tour in the last 8 years, well, this is the 9th year, right? The 9th full year, has drawn these young players in because now there might actually be a chance to make a living at this.
Well, the pool gets deeper, right? You see it in the women's and the men's.
But that's the result. The pool gets deeper. Yeah. So the sport, I think where it's at right now, really needs Anthony Barela, really needs Gannon Burr, really needs all those top players. Can't say all of you, but you know who you are, to start winning. Because people will start paying attention to something where there's dominance. Let's just look at what's happened in FPO last year, right, with Kristen?
Yeah, that's right. Look at how much attention she got in Europe.
Right. So she gets an agent. The agent then gets her Porsche dealership, Nike, Europe, to sponsor her. So things are starting to, the whole dynamic's changing. And well, this is attention deficit disorder, so we can jump around, right?
Yeah,
we're allowed.
that's okay.
We're allowed.
I think it's forgivable.
But it's interesting because she said she was so busy in the off season, she never really had a chance to rest.
Yeah, I remember
she never really got a chance to just bring it down. I'm sure she had her week here or there, but it didn't sound like it was beyond that. It wasn't a month. It wasn't 2 months.
A true detox.
A true detox.
You blink and a week is gone.
So she comes back to Waco. Everything's automatic, right? She's winning. And now there's been 5 events, 1 major, 5 different winners in the FPO. What do you think about that?
I think it's awesome.
I do too.
It keeps it exciting. You don't really know who's in the running anymore.
But I also think she didn't get that rest because she did so much last year and her country recognized her for that. So it wasn't just our little disc golf bubble. It was Estonia.
The whole nation.
It was a nation that went, wow, we have one of the best athletes, if not the best athlete in the world at a sport. That's rare. It's very cool. There's 8 billion people on this planet.
And for a tiny country in Europe,
I just think it's great.
You hope that radiates out to separate countries too, that they border. You know, maybe Russia will take notice, and Slovenia and all those other little countries jump on board with the bigger the sport gets.
Right. And that's where these foundations are really great, because they're going to start helping bring disc golf into rural areas, into other countries that don't have any idea what the sport's about. Because, I mean, really, where are we at? 40 years with the sport? Maybe
1969.
Right. All right. 50. That's not a lot of time.
No, it's a pretty young sport. It's cool to be still at an entry level where we're at now.
Yeah.
There's only 300,000 members, less than 300,000 members of the PDGA. That's something worth noting.
Yeah. And look, I think it's a beautiful game. I don't think enough people have seen it, but I think there are becoming more, we call them outsiders, that have some celebrity status, that are finding this game, that are starting to draw attention to it, on top of the better coverage, on top of the better play.
Yep.
That's so important right now.
It's just big exposure. You look at when Brody Smith first started playing disc golf.
Great example.
He had a ton of followers on YouTube, and then just exposed them all to disc golf. Just shoved it right at him.
Right.
That's huge for us.
Right. Right. Yeah, Brody deserves all the credit in the world for that.
I think it's where a lot of ultimate players actually swung in and started playing disc golf.
Yeah, what's going on over here? Yeah.
Yeah, it's still a disc sport. You still got the form.
Playing golf all those years, traveling and playing different courses was a treat. And it's no different in disc golf. You're looking forward to the next challenge.
Oh, yeah.
And it may be altitude involved. There may be more trees involved. Yeah. There may be,
different climate.
Right.
Different landscape.
Wind, more water.
Different players.
Yeah. So it really parallels golf well in that respect. And I think the aesthetics in the first 4 events, and we'll add the women's major last week, I thought was great. I thought it was great.
It was a really cool course. I liked that course a lot.
Right? I think there's a few things, well, there's more than a few things I'd like to clean up, but at the end of the day, it was a great product. And it's a great product because the players, I can't remember 4 events where you're going into the last 9, it's up for grabs. They always talk about the back 9 at the Masters on Sunday determines the winner. I feel like we've had 4 back 9s at the Masters early.
Back to back to back to back.
Yes.
So entertaining.
I mean, what was Gannon doing with 10 in a row last week?
He made up 8 strokes on Barela.
That was insane.
He had an 8-stroke deficit, Barela did, going into the final round on Gannon. Everybody was looking at Ezra because he was sitting in second at 6 strokes behind.
Yeah. And forgive us, everyone's seen the video by now because we're coming at you at the end of the week, but it's worth talking about because Anthony had that moment where he could have been Anthony of last year or the year before, where that putt didn't go in, where that shot went OB. It didn't.
No, because he's got his head on straight. And if you haven't watched it yet, why are you watching us? Go watch that. That was immensely entertaining.
It was. All 4 of them have been
so good.
Great. I mean, Ricky was, when he sank that putt again on 17, it was like, there was Gannon.
Such a big deal.
So Barela is really, attaboy, Anthony. We're proud of you. We're watching you. You sat right here, and we told you that we were going to be cheering for you, and we are. So kudos.
I bought 2 more jerseys, I should say. 2 more jerseys yesterday.
Yeah, can we talk about that, by the way? Why in the world are they in back order? All right.
Yeah, the people can't buy them up fast enough, it feels like.
Send us your distribution. We'll take care of it. All right.
Yeah, we got to plan a motion for that.
All right. Proud of you, big guy. That's amazing. Really, really amazing. So we segue into, we've already done the 5 different winners, right? Mm-hmm. Did I mention that already?
Yep.
That little rant?
Yep.
Okay.
We went down a little hole there.
But I think that for the FPO, and that's, as much as we love the dominance last year and how good I just said that is for the sport, to have that Tiger Woods type personality out front, for the FPO, it's good to know that there's depth. We were starting to wonder if there was depth in the FPO division.
Yeah, is anybody really going to keep up with Tatar?
Right.
That's what we were all speculating.
Right.
People are calling her over the hill because she finished 10th once.
Right. It would have
automatically discredit her.
It would have been smart if all the FPO got together and they worked with the country of Estonia to keep her busy all off season. That was very smart if they just collectively did that.
Very clever gals.
Yeah. Well, let's get her more tired coming into the year than she's been in the years previous.
Let's get her some more signings.
Yeah. Let's keep her busy. So, good. And now this young lady last week, I didn't even know she played disc golf, and she wins a major. I didn't know who she was. Steen?
Oh yeah, Annika Steen, the Nord.
Yeah.
No, she's been on tour. She's been
easy on the eyes.
Yeah.
Great form.
Beautiful gal. Yes.
Right? Perfect. I mean, really, it's coming out of nowhere like that. I honestly, I watched a lot of FPO last year. I don't remember seeing her on lead card or chase card or even third card.
Yeah, it depends on how close you pay attention. Like I'm always sitting on the PDGA Live app to kind of check what the field looks like. So I'm always looking at the full thing. So I've seen her name a few times. She's definitely not far off making the big attention like she just has.
Well, congratulations. Good for you.
It's about time.
You won't see this, but we're thinking of you.
She might. Her English is so freaking good.
Yeah.
So good.
So is her backhand.
Just as good as her English.
And her putting. So sometimes it just takes that confidence. So if Anthony needed that win at Olympus, right? He got it. Now look at him. Sometimes right?
It's that seal's broken.
It's like
now it's a flood.
Okay, I can do it. I can do it. I've been in the moment. I succeeded in the moment. It was no one backed off of him.
No,
everything was coming at him.
Yes.
Right? And I think that's a big difference too.
That's massive.
Right. No one was falling back, allowing him to go forward.
Yeah.
Everyone was hammering.
Chasing.
Yeah. Making birdies coming down the stretch. Really good stuff.
Yep. Held out very well.
Yeah. Definitely go watch if you haven't seen these episodes. Invest in the Disc Golf Pro Tour network.
It's awesome to watch.
It's half price if you're a member of the PDGA, and invest in the PDGA, period. I mean, that's why we're all here. Those are the two main ingredients that are keeping this thing moving forward right now. And
we got to keep pushing it forward. Right? Absolutely. Support disc golf.
I think so. I think so. I'll drink to that.
Yep, I'll drink to that.
Cheers.
See you at home. So we should probably loop back a little bit to playing in exotic places and changing your game for where you're at. I know we only touched on it a little bit, but that kind of leads into the Collegiate Disc Golf Championships that are going on right now.
Very cool.
So we need to give some shout outs to these men and women.
And where's that being held?
At Winthrop this year, so South Carolina.
Oh.
Rock Hill, South Carolina.
I knew that, actually. I knew that.
D1 singles, Arizona State University. Dan Beck finishing tied 18th in singles, shooting 30 points better than his rating.
Wow.
Way to go, Dan. Way to carry the team, boyo. Ben Meyer and Dan Almquist, both on ASU. This is the whole ASU team I'm going over here. Ben Meyer, Dylan Almquist finished tied 45. This is in a deep field, by the way. This is over 100 players, this field. So to finish T45, just fine. Way to hold out, boys.
More than halfway up.
Yep. Connor Durr, worth mentioning, Arizona State, T108. The team finished tied 12th out of 48 teams. Way to stay on the top half, boys. You guys really compete very well out there. On the women's side, we have Paige Mayos, tied 23 in singles. Way to go. U of A, Sydney Flores, tied 25th. And then Grand Canyon University is actually right down the street from here. Samuel Nicholson finished tied 61st in singles. This is all D1. I know there's teams at D2 and D3, but there was way too many players to highlight. So we're just kind of doing the top teams here. John Spalding tied 135th. Joseph Musakani, that's got to be it, tied 32nd. Well done.
Moose man.
Yeah. Eric Meyer tied 123rd. And then the team, Grand Canyon University, finished 36th.
Wow.
And so there were only two women that played out of Arizona on the D1 side. And they played, even though they played for separate colleges, they played on a team together as an exhibition. It's really cool that the collegiate championships let them team up since there weren't enough women on their actual team. They let them play together as part of their own team.
Oh, that's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But way to go. Way to represent Arizona, guys.
Oh, thanks for that.
Yeah, I wanted to continue on what we did last week for the Big Arm Challenge. Not the Big Arm Challenge, the DFO.
Well, you have history with ASU.
Yeah, I ran the club for 2 years.
Yeah. So it means a lot to you. And
it does mean a lot.
And you played.
Exactly. I played in 2 collegiate championships.
Right.
And they've brought more teams than I thought it was a big deal that I brought 2 teams my last year there. I was really patting myself on the back. These guys brought 3 teams.
That's great.
And a lady.
That's great.
Way to go, guys.
You helped pave the way, man. So that kudos to you. It's building the sport. It is a community, and that's all we're trying to do here is bring attention to Arizona and hopefully beyond.
Yeah. And the collegiate is the second major of the year, and it's grown vastly. I mean, there's got to be 600 players out there competing. How incredible is that?
It's only a matter of time. To me, it is, because I don't know if there's anything that I can really hitting a golf ball 300 yards. I'd rather throw a disc 400. Thank you. Period.
So much more
satisfying. It just feels better. It's more satisfying. The flight of it, especially if there's trees involved, and you can pull. It's just.
I think it's more athletic.
It is definitely more athletic.
Yeah.
Without question, more athletic. And I can tell you, if you're watching this and you happen to be up in age, stretching is highly recommended.
Name of the game, dude. It doesn't matter if you're young or old.
Yeah.
You got to stretch, man. You're going to break further on down the line if you don't.
Yeah. You're going to. This sport will use muscles you're not used to using, and what's going to happen is they're going to tighten up, and you're going to hurt yourself.
It is a pretty unconventional motion to do the whole disc golf swing.
However, not compared to a golf swing. Whereas a golf swing, you're wearing spikes. So all this centrifugal force of you throwing your body in this club head at well over 100 miles an hour through the ball, and your head's not moving while everything else is rotating around it.
This head, not your club head. This head stays still.
Correct. Whereas disc golf, you still want this head to stay still and behind you, but once it's released,
you follow.
You're following through. So you're letting that energy go behind it. Whereas golf, it's all into it. You see people that are even off their feet sometimes in golf, and that torque in your spine you can't do that forever.
Yeah.
I mean, it falls dramatically once you get a certain age in golf. That's why you just don't see people at 40 years of age, except for the very few rarities, competing. They just can't. Mm-hmm. You can't keep doing that to your body.
Then it just becomes a recreational game, huh?
It does. Or
very expensive recreational game.
But the senior tour, look, the senior tour is great. They still crush it at 50 plus. They still are crushing it.
Wow.
But not to the extent that these 20-year-olds are. And the Disc Golf Pro Tour is going to be the same exact way. But I do think, and look at what is happening in the FPO. You have I think she's 50, isn't she? Or is she in their 40s?
Oh,
Own,
I think, plays 40s. MP4 or FP40.
Right. Sorry.
But I want to say she's close. But she's reaching that FP50. That's incredible.
Right. And who's the represented by Latitude 50-year-old?
By latitude?
Out of Florida.
Oh, Johnny McRae, the ageless wonder, they call him.
Yeah. So there are exceptions in this game as well, is my point.
Well, and we talked about that a tidbit last week with Kale and Pete Ulibarri finishing so well at the Memorial.
Right.
Like they would have been second and third solo just about with their scores.
Right. But Kale and Pete Ulibarri in March, April aren't going to be the same in August, July, August. Their bodies won't be able to withstand that.
Heat's going to cook them.
Well, that's not. It's just age.
Oh,
it's just age. I think what's there's a song that's out there. I'm not as good as I once was, but I'm as good once as I ever was. And that can happen at our age. So we're going to see Mike Tyson fight a guy that's almost 30 years younger.
Yeah.
All it's going to take is one punch from Mike. Night, night.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's very risky.
From Jake's perspective?
Yeah.
Not from Mike's perspective.
I think it's really risky because I don't think Tyson's going to hold back.
Well, the power's not gone.
No. If it goes past 3 rounds or 4 rounds, it could shift towards Jake.
That's what Jake has to do for sure.
He's got to survive it.
Stamina game, yeah.
But no one hits the body harder or has ever hit the body harder than Mike Tyson. And he's going to hit you as hard as he's ever hit you. So, because we just said the power doesn't go away, right?
Yep.
The first round is going to be amazing. I can't wait for it. I think Mike is going to come at him with everything he's got. And if he can withstand it, then who knows?
It'll be entertaining nonetheless.
Yeah, it will. So sorry I got off on the ADD there.
No, it's okay. We're a boxing channel now.
Squirreled it. Squirreled it.
Should we touch on Texas States? I know you wanted to talk a little bit about that.
Well, we just did.
We didn't talk about the eggs getting hatched in the fairway, or the eggs getting laid by the turtle.
Have you ever been around snapping turtles?
No.
They're horrible.
Yeah, I don't want to be around snapping turtles.
They're horrible. They don't like you. They want to take your finger. Yeah. So I didn't feel the need for them to wrap that. It's not like a sea turtle.
Yeah, it was very protective the way they did it.
Yeah.
Like that was a relief area. If your disc landed in it, don't touch it and play from where you were last.
So what happens if your disc lands on an egg?
Well, I assume
it would be,
like I said,
it'd be breakfast, right? Or soup.
You'd hope not.
Your lunch.
You'd hope not.
But it would crack an egg, a disc.
Yeah.
Cracks your head.
Yeah. I don't think it was in a position where the disc was really going to be like in a landing zone, but it was just kind of in the fairway. Yeah. Which made it really entertaining from a spectator's view to see all the flags there all of a sudden.
Yeah. Yeah. Sea turtles, big fan. Got to protect them. They're endangered. Beautiful creatures. They're amazing to be in water with them. They're amazing. Snapping turtles, no. No bueno.
Well, it did seem like a pretty preserve type area though too. They were really highlighting all the wildlife around that course.
Yeah, it was cool.
So I assume that's why they protected.
It's definitely cool. And it doesn't look like they're playing golf at the MPO course anymore either, right? Is it dedicated? Do you know?
I don't know, but that would be good information.
Because I didn't see greens at all.
Yeah.
I didn't see OB. I saw traps.
Mm-hmm.
That were
still sand out there.
Still in play. But I didn't see, normally if you see traps, there's fairway traps and there's green traps, or one or the other. But I didn't see any greens, where normally when they play golf courses, they're always...
Yeah, stay off the green.
Like Austin.
Yeah.
You can tell where the greens were, right?
Yep.
But not there.
No.
So I thought it was transitioned into a full destination, pay-to-play spot.
Wouldn't surprise me at all.
Well, yeah. You know, I'm excited about that.
Well, that's kind of where the future lies for disc golf, though, too. Especially in cities like ours, where there's not a lot of park space. The park space that we do have is really heavily used for regular park activities and not so much throwing discs. Can we
do a shout out to Tyler Christensen?
Yeah, front and center here.
Tyler, we reached out to you via the social platforms.
Email.
attention deficit disorder. He won the design contest that we had for the logo. I hope you all think that's pretty cool because we do.
Tyler, you got a $50 gift card on the way to select all kinds of stuff. Our website's gone over a complete overhaul, so there's a ton of inventory hitting the site every day. You've got a lot to choose from with that.
Thank you, Tyler.
$50 Renos.
It was a little bit of a battle, but in the end, you nailed the Arizona sunset with that. And we were lucky enough. That's an what is that? That's an underworld.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I love. I love an underworld. So the fact that we printed the first ones on an underworld was pretty cool.
Yeah, couldn't get it on the disc fast enough, by the way. Had to get that on the disc.
So thank you very, very much. And everyone that participated in that, we appreciate it so, so much.
Yeah, always be on the lookout for the current giveaways and contests. This is not the last one. There's plenty to go here. So always pay attention, always participate, please.
Yeah, for sure. So we're attached to the Dynamic Disc Phoenix store here in Phoenix, and it's in the northwest part of Phoenix on your way up to Flagstaff, south of the 101, if you're familiar with any of that.
We have 5 courses within 15 minutes of here, too.
Yeah, 5 courses. Yeah.
Central hub for disc golf right here.
It really is. For the central west side, this is a perfect spot. And the store has, and it's partnered with Ricky Wysocki, and Ricky has signed all kinds of discs that if you spend $100 in the store, there's a Glow Slammer.
That goes for online, too, for out-of-town listeners.
So online is the discshack.com. Sorry for the confusion, but the discshack.com was the original name of the store. And we partnered with Dynamic Disc to create the new retail name. But the online name is the discshack.com. And go ahead, if you spend $100 there, we have these Ricky discs. What is this one here?
That's a Raider,
a
Glow Raider.
Glow Raider, Glow Slammer, really cool. All signed personally by him. There's other, you'll see Club Ricky on the website, so I think that's pretty cool. We're going to start adding more things to the Club Ricky site as they become available, but shirts that he has here, the Saki Bomb shirts.
Kind of like this one.
Yeah, exactly like that one. And then the one that has more of that sunset.
The orange, yeah.
So that's pretty cool. And I know we're in some talks with some other tour players about doing some distribution for them, so there'll be some cool things coming. Plus all the latest and greatest that are available in the disc golf plastic world.
And we have a really cool guest that we're really that we ran into on the course the other day.
You're going to bring it up?
Well, I don't want to give it away, but I do want to hint at we have a really cool guest coming. We're not going to.
We just haven't locked down a day, but it's.
He's into it.
He said yes, and he's excited. Yeah. So, and there may or may not be martial arts involved.
Well, that's more of a giveaway than I was going to do.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'll leave it there because martial arts is broad spectrum.
There's a couple disc golfers in the martial arts community.
Yeah. Okay. So we're excited about that. Stay tuned. Come back for sure. You want to talk about your conquest coming up?
Oh, we have the conquest. I completely forgot about that. Yeah, I've been putting a lot of legwork in. Our course across the street is a 9-hole disc golf course with 18 tee pads, so it gets really, really cluttered. A lot of people. I mean, this is almost a 27-year tournament now, ongoing.
It's one of the oldest in the valley.
Yes. Yeah. And now I've got the pleasure of running it. So we add 12 baskets to that course across the street and basically do a pop-up 20-hole layout. And it is an absolute blast. There's tons of Mandos and OBs to make it really, really tough. The shapes are all completely different from each other, so you end up using a lot of different discs out of your bag, which I think is the mark of a good course. Really good layout. It's completely full, so there's really no chance at anybody getting in. The wait list is also full, so very thankful for that. Thanks to all those that have signed up. And
registration is still open, though.
Yeah, because of the wait list. But
right. So if you're not in and you didn't know about it, get yourself on the wait list at least.
Yeah, maybe you can get lucky. Maybe
it's worth $1. What is it, $1 risk?
It's $10, but you also get refunded, so it's not like
yeah.
Go
for it because I played it last year. I got runner-up in MA50.
Wow, well done.
Yeah.
I don't have any big names in this one like I did the last one, but it is a very, very fun event.
And it's 30. Well, it's 40 holes the first day,
Yeah.
and 20 holes the second day.
It's going to be brutal. Yeah, 3 rounds, 2 days.
Yeah, so hydrate and but that's what it's all about. It's perfect.
We're competing out here,
75, 80 degrees right now, and you're playing disc golf all day.
Well, and keep in mind, because my name is on the TD line, it's going to rain.
We'll see.
And
it's not in the forecast.
15 to 20 mile an hour. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It will rain.
It's really looked like this new live is working.
They're organized, man.
Right? It looks really great. So if you haven't subscribed to Disc Golf Pro Tour or the DGN channel network, it's available on Roku, Apple, Samsung TVs has it. It's all there, and it's super easy. If you put your number in from your PDGA number in, it's all half price for the year. So you can watch certain things for free, and for $5 a month, you get everything. And then for $10, I think, a month, or is it? It's just 10, isn't it?
For Pro, yeah, I believe
for Pro,
so. Yeah.
If you have the PDGA, you get bonus coverage and all this other stuff. So well worth the investment if you love the game, and certainly support all that, right?
There's plenty of excitement to be had. Look at how good the first 4 tournaments are. If they're half as good as those first 4 tournaments, then it'll be very well worth the money.
Yeah, there's no way you've put $5 or $10 into something. I promise you, those last weekends, that would have been better than that. No way.
Fully agree.
No way.
Nothing's that entertaining if you're a disc golfer.
I don't care what it is. Your favorite beer,
sex,
your favorite whatever. Wow. He's crazy. You want to button it up?
I think we should put a bow on it.
Put a bow on it? All right. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
See you, everyone.